Hello, Lexington. I'm Councilmember Shayla Lynch, and I honorably serve the 2nd District, and I'm excited to be here today to introduce you to two of our neighborhood resource officers in the 2nd District. They are two of Lexington's finest, Officer Jones and Officer Sherrod. How are y'all today?
Very well. Good morning.
Very good. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being with us today and to tell my neighbors in the city of Lexington a little bit about what it means to be a neighborhood resource officer. But my first question is, tell my neighbors a little bit about yourselves.
I'm from Washington State originally, and I've lived here most of my life. I'm a graduate from Henry Clay High School, in case anyone's out there from Henry Clay. And then I have a bachelor's degree from Miami University in Ohio.
Okay, I did not know that. Okay.
And I've been a police officer for 15 or 16 years.
Awesome. Officer Jones.
I moved to Lexington in 2012 from Buffalo, New York. In 2016, I met my wife when she was working on the fire department. We've been married pretty much ever since. We have 3 boys now, and we run a small homestead and play a lot of baseball with 3 boys. So
That's awesome. Awesome. That's wonderful. My next question is, what is your role as neighborhood resource officers? What do you do in our neighborhoods for our community?
So what's unique about our position is we are not directly tied to the radio for calls for service. So we're not going to be a primary reporting unit. With that gives us the opportunity to take extra time out of our day to be able to kind of hone in on some of the bigger issues in the neighborhoods that we serve to find more long-term solutions to those problems. That's
great. That's great. That's great. I know I love as a council member having your presence and seeing your presence at our community events with interacting with the neighbors. I know it's a big plus for our community. So thank you all for all you do if I haven't said that yet. What is unique about serving in your role in the 2nd District? Anything unique, something special to what happens in our neighborhood over in the 2nd District?
We actually get to participate in a lot of different activities. So you have Mestre Station Park, which is a large park, and a lot of different organizations use the park. So I've enjoyed, as a neighborhood resource officer, being able to, we have Operation Copsicle Van. So we hand out copsicles, and I've participated in numerous events out there. We have a lot of kids that come up, so we interact a lot with the kids. We also do events with the schools, and so I've been to the schools in the area. We do Real Read, where we go to read to different grades in the elementary schools, and that's a great time. And we kind of get to interact with the kids a little bit so that they're not necessarily scared to see a police officer in case they need one. It makes it a little bit more at ease for them. It's a great way for us to meet the community. We meet the parents on a lot of these events. I've been able to participate in a few complaints as well. So I mean, we do police work. And like he was saying, in patrol you're going call to call, so we have more time to deal with something that maybe is, I don't know, a hindrance or a bother in the community, or it could be about something for a lot of people or just a few. And we have more time to kind of deal with that and try to take care of the problem as it occurs. But we have a lot of events that we do out there.
Awesome, awesome. I know my neighbors love the Copsicle Van. Whenever they see it rolling up, the kids get very excited. So I'm so glad you all have that, and hope we all can get another one. My next question is, what are the top public safety concerns for my district from your perspective, from what you've seen, just in your experience?
It's more of, I wouldn't necessarily say for your area, but for the whole city. A lot of things that we kind of deal with are thefts from cars. That's just a common thing. And that's helpful to every neighborhood, so that even my wife, one time when we moved, we had to park our cars outside and she didn't lock her doors, and so I came home and find her car doors were open or unlocked anyway. So it's important to not leave things in your cars. There's a lot of things you can do kind of for yourself so that you don't leave yourself susceptible to theft or some crime happening to you or being a victim. And it's simple as not leaving anything in your car and locking your doors, whether you have anything in your car or not. So one thing that people can do is we have a Arctic, which is what we call it, but it's the Real-Time Intelligence Center. And what we can do is we can tap into different cameras that the city has, and then we're also part of FUSIS, which is just an acronym that it has a system of cameras, so that if you have a camera on your house or a personal camera, we don't look into your camera, but if there's a crime that occurred in your area, you can review your own footage. And if you register your camera with us, we'll already know that you have it, and you'll just be sent an email, and it's a link on how you can have your camera footage sent to us in case there was something that's on your camera footage that we can use to solve a crime potentially.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And to my neighbors, it's relatively easy to sign up to participate in that service. I signed up myself already. It's just a quick form online, and so if you want to do that, please check out the Lexington Police Department's website to find out more about that. And then my last question is, you've already addressed it a little bit. Any other tips that you can give my neighbors so that what they can be, how they can be proactive to keep our neighborhood safe?
So an active and engaged community is generally a safer community. When we are bringing in positive, edifying activities within our community, it naturally pushes out the bad activity. And that's our goal here in community engagement as neighborhood resource officers, to be a part of that.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you all so much for joining me for my council comment to talk about our neighborhood resource officers and what you all do in our neighborhoods and communities. I really appreciate all that you do because it does break down barriers. All the community engagement that you do breaks down barriers and forms strong, positive relationships with the neighbors. So I appreciate all that you do. And my neighbors out in District 2, specifically, if you see Officer Sherrard or Jones out in the community, please stop, say hello, engage with them. They're some pretty awesome people. So thank you all so much for joining me.
Thanks for meeting with us.
Yes, thanks for having us.